Hey, I've got to talk to you like someone who's lived through cluttered cables, random dongles, and that moment of dread every time you sit down and hope your laptop actually connects to everything you need. Thunderbolt 5 Dock Chroma. This is for the kind of person who knows when their setup should feel seamless, who's frustrated with adapters everywhere, and who's reached the point where it works just doesn't cut it anymore. Before you go deeper, take a moment to check the current price and availability, because high-bandwidth docks like this tend to fly off shelves once people hear how much smoother life gets. You knew it was time to upgrade when you found yourself juggling multiple connectors just to get a single display running. When transferring files meant waiting, and connecting peripherals meant guessing which port might actually do the job. Every morning you plugged in and felt that little sigh of here we go again. That's the moment you realize you deserve better. And the first time you docked your laptop with this? Relief washes over you. Not the kind that comes from lowering expectations, but the kind that comes from effortless connection. Monitors light up instantly, drives show up without hesitation, and power flows without you hunting for the right cable. You feel it in the confidence with which everything just works. Imagine connecting three 4K displays at 144 Hz without blinking. Imagine blazing 120 gigabits per second transfer speeds that make moving huge files feel like flipping a switch instead of starting a chore. Picture a setup where one cable powers your laptop with 140 watts and keeps every accessory happy. Once you live with that level of responsiveness, stepping back to clutter and compromise feels like stepping backward in time. While you're thinking about that, take another look at pricing and stock. Waiting often turns into price shifts or configurations disappearing, and that hesitation today can become the regret you feel every time you plug in and wish things were smoother. If you're wondering whether you really need this much capability, let me reframe that doubt. This isn't about excess, it's about alignment with what you actually use every day. Once you've got instant multi-display output, rapid file transfers, and power delivery that never falters, anything slower feels like a half-hearted solution instead of something that supports what you do. Here's something people overlook: you start trusting your desktop experience again. You plug in without hesitation, you switch tasks without lag, and you don't spend minutes every morning untangling connections. You simply sit down and work. You feel connection stability instantly. You see displays light up without delay. You move files with confidence. You power everything with one cable. You own a setup that feels intentional. The only real downsides are that older peripherals may start feeling painfully slow, and once you've experienced this level of integration, anything less feels like compromise rather than choice. At some point, those comparison loops you run in your head stop helping. You already know what smooth feels like. Don't let this be the upgrade you put off and then regret every time you circle back to tangled cables or lagging connections. If you're ready to stop wrestling with adapters and finally elevate your setup into something that feels cohesive, check availability now and make this yours. The moment you dock and everything just clicks, you'll wonder why you waited.